Hello, my name is Nicole Fiore. I have been roller skating for my entire life. I am a 4-time world champion and I am here to teach you how to roller skate. This will be a 5-class series for you and your family to learn together. The first thing we're going to do is sit down. However you want to get down onto the ground, I want you to do so safely. I want you to sit down on your booty. The first thing we're going to do is make sure our roller skates are tied correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and untie a few hooks of my skate. Some of our skates have hooks. If your skate has a hook, I want you to cross your laces, hook on both sides, cross again, hook again, however many hooks you have, and then make sure you tie it in a bow at the top. If your laces are too long, you can wrap it around the skate and then tie it in a bow. The next thing we're going to do is make sure our wheels are rolling. So if your wheel is making that noise, that means it is too loose. So we need to take a tool and we need to tighten right here on our wheel. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I've always remembered that ever since I was growing up. Parents, you can find a tool to fit a skate at basically any hardware store. Just take the skate with you and then find a tool that matches. Okay, next thing is our toe stop. If your skate has a toe stop, we are going to use that to stop and push. If your skate does not have a toe stop, that is okay. You don't need one. All right, we're gonna work on getting up from here. Falling is completely normal. If you end up right here, it's totally okay. There are a few things that we can do to help us from hurting ourselves too much when we are falling. This booty underneath us, we have 2 butt cheeks. When we fall, we want to choose one butt cheek. We want to try to anyway. We want to try to choose a butt cheek and then just sit down normal. Our hands usually end up on the ground when we fall. We don't want to leave them on the ground too long. We want to pick them up because there may be other skaters nearby that could roll over our fingers and that hurts really bad. So I want you to pick your hands up when you fall. Okay, now we're gonna get up. I want you to go to your hands and knees like this, pick one skate up, put your hands on that knee, and then push yourself up very slowly. When you're up, I want you to bend both knees in this position. Our knees are our best friends when we're skating. We want to use our knees to help us balance. We want to bend our knees a lot, and it's a workout, so it's a little tiring. But whenever you are standing up, you want your knees to be bent. If it's a deep bend like this, totally okay. If it's kind of like this, that's really good too. Now let's talk about our Superman position. This right here is our Superman position. If we ever feel like we're going to fall, we want to get into this position as soon as possible. Your hands can go out forward, they can go out to the side, but your knees need to be bent. If we are falling, we want to get into this position and then get as low as we can before we hit the ground. That will really help us from hurting ourselves. So if you feel yourself falling, Superman, and then get down really low and just take a seat. Okay, once you are up, you probably want to roll. We're not gonna roll quite yet. We are going to take little steps. These are called marching steps. So think like you're in a band and you're marching down the street. When you do this, I want you to put your heels together like this. Yes, we are on roller skates, but we don't want our feet rolling while we're just trying to stand. So we want to put our heels together so that we are stable and balanced. Go ahead and put your arms out. When your arms are out like this, they will help us leaning side to side so that we can stay balanced. I always think of an airplane when I'm doing this. If you think of an airplane, cool. If you think of anything else, let me know what you're thinking of. When you're doing this, our heels are together, our arms are in an airplane. I want you to step forward little by little. Heels together, step, step, step. Parents, if you are helping your child skate, Make sure you have your hands out like this and let them rest their hands on your hands. This will help them to maintain their own balance, and you won't really have to hold them up too much once they understand how to balance on their own skates. Also beware that their skates are going to either come toward you or away from you. So what I like to do is put my feet out like this. I know this isn't super comfortable, but put your feet out like this so that if and when their skates come toward you, they would hit the inside of your shoes instead of the toes of your shoes. Especially if you're wearing sandals, it is not fun to have your toes run over. So make sure to turn your feet out like this, help them this way, and just kind of move with them. Make sure you try to hold their balance in the center of their body because that is really difficult, especially for small children. They want to rock back and forth and side to side. So really try to help them center their weight and just beware of those skates coming at you. Go ahead and keep doing that. Good. Let's do that one more time. If you want to shake your legs out really quick, wiggle your arms around. Okay, let's try again. So, our arms are out, our heels go together, we bend our knees, and we take little steps, little by little. Go ahead and keep going. Walk all the way to the computer, all the way to the phone, whatever you're watching me on. Keep walking toward me, keep walking toward me. Keep your knees bent, keep your arms out. Good. Okay. Now, when you were doing this, you were probably just stepping, not thinking about too much, just stepping. We don't need to think about too much. Just take steps, pretend like you're in shoes, pretend like you're just walking like normal. If you do want to start focusing on where to put your body, I want you to flex your tummy, like that. Flex your muscles. If you put your hands on your tummy and you go, like that, that's what I mean by flexing your tummy. I always make a sound like you're kind of gonna poop or fart. Try not to actually poop or fart, just make that noise. Okay, now with our hands, I know I said our arms need to be out like this, but what I want you to do next is put them down, relax them, wiggle them, and then I want you to put your hands like this and flex as hard as you can. Then I want you to relax and put your hands down from there. That is the position that I want your arms to be in. So if you ever get too wiggly, too noodly, go ahead and go like this, and then okay, good. Now let's try this one more time, thinking about all of that. So we're gonna wiggle, we're gonna flex, put your arms out, put your feet in the V, your heels together, and then step toward me. Bending your knees. Keep those knees bent, keep the tummy tight. Good. Okay, now we're gonna start rolling. So, in order to roll, we need our feet like this. And they need to go in a straight line so that they don't actually hit each other. If our skates hit each other, we typically end up falling. So, what we're going to do is take a few steps like you just did, and then make sure your toes are pointing straight. Bend your knees, and you will hopefully start rolling. When you're doing this, make sure you are stepping and then placing your feet, your toes straight forward. If you roll even just a little bit, that's a really good start. You can also use something to push off of. If you are using something to push off of, make sure you don't push too hard. It's just gonna be a little bit of a helper, whether it's a mom or dad, whether it's your brother, your sister, a wall, a chair, a table, anything like that. Just use it to push off a little bit. Make sure your toes are going straight forward. And make sure that your knees are bending. With your hands, you can have them out to the side. You can have them out in front. Just make sure you're staying really strong and balancing. Okay, our next trick is going to be a 2-foot shoot the duck or a cannonball. I know those are both very funny names, but that's what they're called. So what we're going to do is bend down into that position I told you to get into when you're falling. So we're gonna Superman, and then we're going to keep bending our booty to the ground as far as we can. So here, all the way down, booty to the ground, and then we're gonna just hug our knees, just like this. I'm rolling. Sometimes you do end up rolling just by doing that. Some of our floors have a slight hill to them. So my floor in here in this room does have kind of a hill. So if I turn this way and I get into a cannonball, I end up rolling. That's okay. We just come back up, Superman, and get our balance. If you end up rolling like that, we need to know how to stop. So let's talk about that. So that we don't have to keep falling, we are going to learn how to stop. Now, I mentioned before, some of us have a toe stop. We are going to use that to stop. We have a guest star. While she's in here, a lot of us have pets. If you are skating around your pets or small children, we need to make sure that we don't kick them and don't hurt them. So if you are skating with a pet nearby, make sure you are aware of what is around you. There aren't any toys, there aren't any pets around that you can roll over. Make sure your area is clear so that you can skate. If there is a toy or an animal in that area, take a break, move them out of the area, and then continue practicing. Okay, so when we stop, we need to use our toe stop behind us and drag it. That's kind of difficult to do when we're not moving, but we are going to practice this standing still first. So what I want you to do is pick a foot, put it behind you like this, and then drag it forward. If you get a bumpy ride when you start to do that, that's okay. Just put a little bit more weight into that foot, press down into that toe stop, and drag it forward so that it doesn't skip like that. Now, what I want you to do to practice this, if you have something to hold on to, a table, if you have a parent, if you have a chair, something to hold on to, that will really help you when you're practicing your stopping. So what I want you to do, if your arms are straight forward, that's okay. If they're out to the side, that's okay. But remember to keep your body strong, keep that tummy tight, and I want you to take a few marching steps, roll, and then I want you to stop with that toe stop. You don't need to go super fast. You can start really slow. Arms out, march, roll, and stop. You don't have to reach super far like this. You can just put it down on the ground and stop with it. I want you to practice this a few times. So when you are practicing, remember these key things. Strong arms, they go out to balance. Our knees are bent. You can just take steps like you're walking, just like you're in shoes. When you roll, your toes need to be facing forward so that they don't hit each other. And when we stop, we need to keep our body strong and use that toe stop, drag it forward. Make sure your knees are bent when you're doing that. We are going to do a lot more with rolling, a lot more with our toe stops. We are even going to learn how to jump and spin on our skates. Whenever you are doing this, no matter where you are, make sure you're being as safe as possible. If you have a helmet, elbow pads, wrist guards, knee pads, please wear them. Whatever you need to do to feel safe and be as safe as possible, please do it. No matter where you are, if you're inside or outside, please be as safe as possible. All right, that was our first class out of 5. So please join me in the next video. We are going to be doing a lot of fun stuff, but please practice and stay safe. I'll see you later.